YouTube is finally banning Nazis, Holocaust denial, and Sandy Hook truthers. Well, if you follow this page, you'll know that I think Adolf Hitler is a worthless piece of shit and that the Nazis were worthless pieces of shit. That's why I think it's important to never let what happened in Nazi Germany ever happen again. And to do that, I think this would be a good time to take a look at what led to the Holocaust. From the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, through hundreds of legal measures, the Nazi-led German government gradually excluded Jews from public life, the professions, and the public education. The goal of Nazi propaganda was to demonize Jews and to create a climate of hostility and indifference towards their plight. We can never again let a controlling force demonize people, and that is exactly what is happening right now to the white race. And that is why we can never forget what happened in the Holocaust, because look, we let it happen again. Every single outlet of propaganda for the last 15, 20, probably 25 on a much smaller scale years has been used to demonize white people and to create a climate of hostility and indifference towards our plight. And it's really unbelievable that we could let history repeat itself again, especially when there's been so many movies on the Holocaust and you hear so many things and there's so many specials and everyone talks about it all the time. But here it is again, just how the Nazis burned all the literature and silenced the Jews when they spoke up. You have Facebook banning white right-wingers. You have YouTube banning white right-wingers. Twitter, Instagram. This is the modern day Nazi book burning. As far as propaganda to demonize the white race, do I even got to go into that? Here's just a few examples from the Library Journal. Library collections continue to promote and proliferate whiteness with their very existence and the fact that they are physically taking up space in our libraries. What? What the fuck? What the fuck's white people have to do with that? New York Post. White people's diets are killing the environment. I'm sorry, are we the only ones who eat hamburgers? What the fuck? Here's something that was posted in Seattle, right on a telephone pole. When you date a white, it's not alright. Propagation of whites is propagation of hatred, oppression, homophobia, sexism, transphobia, racism, and ableism. This will not be tolerated. You have been warned. Emerald City Antifa, get the fuck out of here. Here's one in Canada. Yelling I hate white people and punching one isn't a hate crime, Canadian judge rules. Oh, clearly not. White people are bad. That's what happens when you demonize someone. Salon, one of the worst publications of all time. Is ending the so-called white race the solution to the problem of white supremacy? White supremacy? What fucking world do you guys live in? White people fighting for their existence. Is it racist? And to create a climate of hostility and indifference towards their plight. Here's a great one from Vice. Superman shouldn't be white, because it never completely made sense to me. What? These pages. That's the most overtly racist thing I've ever read in my entire life. What the fuck? Vice. Vice's only reason for existing is to spread degeneracy and demonize white people. That's it. They're not there to make money. Vice is a weapon. The powers that be are doing exactly what they did right before the Holocaust and demonizing Jews. They're demonizing white people. And these are their weapons. These are their soldiers. These aren't pages. They're run by people who don't need money, who have infinite money. That's why they don't have to worry about pissing off people. They could just print propaganda after propaganda after propaganda until the world is literally Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, Cory Booker. Guy calls himself a man but cries on fucking national TV like a bitch. Cory Booker, young white kids have too much money. Let's give some of that to the minorities. How much money do you have? Why don't you give them some of your money? And what, they're going to vote for you? Oh, you did so many wonders in Newark. Yeah, you're so good. You're a fucking phony, just like the rest of them. Here's a lady who wrote a book teaching kids to be ashamed of being white. Is actually going on a book tour, and people are actually bringing their kids to see her. And what happens when you speak up? You get banned. Oh, you got something to say about it? Banned, motherfucker. And that's what socialists do. Hitler was a socialist, and Nazis are the National Socialist Party, who used all their means of propaganda to demonize a race and then censored them when they spoke up about it. Right before they murdered a whole bunch of them. Are we not supposed to be concerned that every single media outlet of the last 15 years that are self-proclaimed socialists have been demonizing white people, and now the fact that they speak up are censoring them? So yeah, I do think it's important to talk about what happened in Nazi Germany. It's a huge reason why I don't trust socialists. And what about the Young Turks? Are they going to have all their content removed for denying the well-documented Armenian genocide? Here, you want to see how propaganda works? Let's pick a random year. It's 2014. In 2014, white people killed 187 black people. And black people killed 446 white people. Now, if you were only, for whatever reason, just going to play one clip of one murder for an entire year, obviously the best representation of the situation of the country would be a black guy killing a white guy. No, instead of doing that, they took a white cop killing a black guy who had just robbed a freaking store and played it for the entire year. That is how you demonize someone. The year Freddie Gray died, way more black people killed white people than the opposite way around. In fact, every single year it's like that. The only reason you wouldn't report on that or report it that way is if you were trying to demonize someone. Let's be honest, they don't even hide it anymore. Like Don Lemon coming on and saying that white men are the biggest terrorist threat in the whole country, which is an absolute lie. See, I'm a numbers guy. I do math all day long. Math is the only thing in this world that makes sense to me, all right? I don't need Fox News to tell me the statistics or the way of things. No, just give me the actual numbers and I'll decide for myself what's going on, okay? Or his buddy who sat there like a pathetic loser and let him talk shit on his own people, Chris Lake Homo. Donald Trump supporters are mostly middle-aged angry white males. Well, yeah, dude, can you guys stop being dicks for like a day? I mean, come on, man. Holy shit. So in summation, why I think it's good that YouTube's bringing up Nazis, what fucking pieces of shit they are, I think it's ironic that they are then turning around and doing exactly what the Nazis did and censoring people. They could call us Nazis all they want, but no one cares on this side what anyone looks like. You go in those groups, there's people of all different races and colors, all making fun of what fucking lunatics you all are. A lot of them are actually pretty hysterical, because we still got something called a sense of humor. But honestly, if you're someone who's been fed the bullshit that Republicans or right-wingers are all racist, just fucking come hang out with us. You're the racist. Just like how back in the day, the Democrats were shitting all over the blacks while the Republicans were like, hey man, we should free these people. And then, hey man, the Ku Klux Klan, that sucks. Or hey man, Jim Crow laws, what are you guys, assholes? And all that time when the Republicans were like, no man, we should just love everybody. And then the Democrats, everyone's like, they switched. No, the Democrats switched. They switched from black people to white people. Now, all they do is shit on white people. And here are the Republicans, just as always. Hey, man, why don't we just love everybody? Jackie Moon, baby. Everybody love everybody. But nah, you guys will never check out a right-wing group. You're too wrapped up in this fucking psychotic world they've built. But anyway, one day you're going to find out that if you want true equality and true no hatred, right-wing's the only way to go. And yeah, guess what? We got jokes and we fuck with each other. And it's funny and no one gives a shit. Alright? So stop being drips and be like, oh, white people this, or oh, Christians that, or oh, men, oh, the patriarchy, alright? And just come hang out, man. Stop fucking, get rid of all this stuff, man. Remember who you were. We all used to get along and hang out. We had differences, but no one cared. And for the love of God, let's never let what happened in the Holocaust ever happen again. Where we go one, we go all.
How much of it is Twitter focusing on that? How much of it is inviting more conversation from outside parties? And I ask that because for the last few days there have been a lot of headlines around Mark Zuckerberg's piece in the Washington Post about more regulation of the internet. Did you have a chance to see those comments? Would you say they align with your general views? Because you have talked about this issue before.
I think so generally, I think regulation is a good thing. It's a net positive, and I think our role as a company should be that of an educator. We need to give people much better controls over their experience, and we need to do more of the work for them. We need to take away the burden of reporting harassment or abuse. We need to utilize technology better to automatically identify where it's happening or where there's a high probability of it happening, so that people don't necessarily have to see it when they didn't ask to get into the fray as what's brought to them.